small threats. So joining me now is Christian Whiton. He's a former State Department senior advisor. So these sound like pretty strong words, albeit with questionable grammar, which is typically the rhetoric that we get when North Koreans make threats. But look, launching a cyber attack back at North Korea, effectively going to cyber war with North Korea, do you really think that's a wise idea?
I think so. If you look, I mean, you mentioned how significant the damage is. It's not just the damage on company, although that is significant, perhaps $100 million or more, but also putting a chilling effect on our most fundamental freedom, the right to free speech. I mean, people will say they're going to stand up and be tough, but you can believe that anyone in this town in Hollywood who's working on a screenplay or a project or a song is going to think twice before criticizing a dictator. So, you know, the president can call it cyber vandalism, but ultimately our adversaries are the ones who will assess what has been done to us. They think we were attacked. And the nice thing about a cyber retaliation is it's non-lethal. It's something where we can excel and do better than our adversaries. And
I do want to make sure that our viewers are aware that when Candy Crowley conducted that interview and got that comment about, you know, the cyber vandalism, that was prior to this latest volley from the North Koreans ramping it up and suggesting that our citadels are going to, you know, take whatever kind of blows that they think they can actually muster. So what about the co-conspirators? Because if Russia and China have anything to do with North Korea and what it may have done to Sony, well, then should the response, a cyber attack, be levied against those countries as well?
I think so, and frankly, you talk to people on Capitol Hill, and they're still a little surprised that it was North Korea alone who pulled this off. Although we take the president and the FBI at their word, but you know, those other threats pose very serious cyber threats, and there has to be some point at which we say, okay, we're not just going to try and harden every target in the United States, but there's going to be a consequence. I would do this like sort of classic Cold War espionage. Do it covertly. Don't necessarily say you're doing it, even if it's somewhat obvious.
Sure.
First, target Pyongyang's electrical infrastructure, but then if there are Chinese and Russian companies involved, targeting them with very simple denial of service attacks.
Well, geez, then now you're starting to make me think World War 3.0, because there could be those who are very much in support of those other countries. I mean, you could be really opening up a messy can of you-know-what.
You can. It's just the traditional question of retaliation. Is it more costly if you don't take those steps now? It's not World War III in the sense it doesn't involve any kinetic, to use military jargon.
That's why I called it 3.0. That's why I called it 3.0. Nobody may get hurt, but ultimately people get hurt in different ways. But yeah, let me ask you this just real quickly.
They do, and the point is to make it have a cost, and it would have a cost.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's just, again, if we keep standing by, we can't defend every system. So by creating a cost to attacking us, that's what would prevent at least nation states from doing so.
One last word on this, and it literally is 10 seconds. Don't you think that we tip our hand in terms of our ability to surveil if you launch an attack?
Well, we've already done that, though, because the president's, you know, been out and clearly said this is what we think, and the FBI explained their process of thinking. So, you know, I think the cat's already out of the bag.
It's great to talk to you. Happy holidays, Christian Whiton. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you, Ashley.
Still ahead at this hour.